Hello, everyone. On today's show, we talk about all the various ways Republicans are going to try to suppress the vote, and the Supreme Court wants to get in on it as well. I read that weird. Whatever, you're going to like it. Oh, hi, hello. Welcome back to Even More News, the first and only news podcast. My name's Katie Stoll.
That's the one. That's the only. That's... Hi, I'm Cody.
Hi, Cody. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay. We're recording on a Sunday, which I will explain a little bit later. But first, time to introduce our guest, our friend, our former coworker, podcaster. You know him from Small Beans. It's Michael Swaim.
I'm Michael. Neither the one nor the only. They're everywhere.
My dad's name is Michael.
Well, knock it off. It's too many. It's tiring. Make him be Mike.
I have a thought on that, but first, Jonathan is also here.
Hi. What's
get
your
mad
thought
at
on
me
that?
if I
Kate?
wait
You don't
too
need
long.
to hold your thoughts for my introduction.
Sometimes, if I don't sneak it in up top, sometimes I forget, and then people are upset.
Then everyone, oof.
Because how dare I disrespect Jonathan? Okay. Like I established, my dad's name is Michael. And I had a boyfriend once that met him. And he was like, hi, my name's Michael. And this guy goes, nice to meet you, Mike. And my dad goes, I said Michael.
Yeah, that's a good. I feel similarly. So, yeah,
He's like,
and then-
I didn't tell you, Mike.
Yeah, agreed.
That's so bold.
Fans of this channel will note that every so often we will take an old episode and re-release it into the audio feed. And we do that because, well, we need to get ahead on scripts somehow. And so normally we do that when we need a week off. However, this week we couldn't because we had advertisements sold and we have a contract. So instead of doing a Some More News this week, you will have 3-hour length episodes of us talking. And it's going to be fun and it's going to be great. And then we'll be back next week with your regularly scheduled programming. A quick note, if you ever don't want advertisements, you can go on over to our Patreon because we post things ad-free there. But if you like advertisements...
This is the week for you.
This is the
This is
week.
the week for you. You know what? It is what it is. And we do what we got to do. And... thankfully, a lot of companies are using up their end of the year budgets on advertising.
Thank you, companies.
This episode is dedicated to companies.
The good ones, the bad ones. We won't be saying which is which.
Here's my soft transition to the news. Michael, how are you holding up with
The news?
all around despair everywhere we go?
I think everyone, I'm pretty shocked by the rapidity, but it's like there is sort of always been an acceleration as history goes on of, we mostly see it in technology, like, wow, it used to be in a decade this much progress would happen. Now it's even faster, even faster, even faster is why you start. And I always heard that in the context of like the sci-fi idea of the robotic singularity. So like eventually you'll have to reach a point where technology advances so fast that the future will be upon us. And I thought that sounds neat. And now I didn't realize there was this other version of, I think, the same underlying like sort of rhythmic feeling, which is cultural. It's like it used to take us a good 22 years to 28 years to slide into fascism and then have to develop an underground cadre of networked mutual aid fighters to like dig us out of this hole. And then there's a bunch of needless like death and violence. And then we come out of it a better people, hopefully on the other side. That cycle has, like Rome fell and then stuff came out of that. And of course, everyone very big on referencing World War II and adjacent events at this time.
Sure.
But I'm like, but that's not the only one. French Revolution all over. But I'm like, dang. Even the people, the grimmest people, yourselves included, whose job it is to predict like, no, I'm not saying you do this cynically, but even if you were cynically like, for clicks, it's good for us to say, everyone, this guy's crazy. Like, democracy's actually at stake. It's being burned down. It's like, there's no way to overstate the speed with which you're like, or, I think it was on the doc today, but I was already aware that they're already making the hubbub about like, any goon we can hire who's loyal to us, we will ordain with the authority to use violence. And we're about to deploy them in all 50 states. And we're like, damn, you got to Civil War crackdown in like a year and a half. I really thought we'd have more time.
Yeah.
That's my main takeaway. It's just so fast.
Isn't it?
It's so
it's
fast.
dizzying.
Yeah, so fast.
It's so fast.
I have been thinking a lot about being in my late teens, early 20s, college age, around the time when I met you, Michael, and frequently
That was the beginning of
thinking
the dark times.
beginning of dark times in hindsight. But at the time being like, man, I really missed all the good stuff, all the good events, women's lib, the civil rights movement, the Beatles. I missed it all and really took for granted what I perceived as stability, or took for granted common sense, common knowledge. And then now, here we are in a fight for our lives. And I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of a pivotal time. No.
So do all who see such times, but it's not for them to decide.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's the ignorance is bliss of, my wife is a very plugged in social worker / activist. So I credit a lot of my awakening to intersectional issues to them. But before that, I definitely lived in the bubble of, wow, it sure is great and touching, and I tear up and I'm inspired that they worked out all that racism stuff in that civil rights movement. What an inspirational thing they did so that I can live in a post-racism world. And it's like, you fucking clown, you absolute like precious summer child who has not like, has only lived in the pipeline up through college, where I was like, and then even me as the chosen presents as cis white male, like doing the, that's of course you wake up when the flood comes to your door. As I left college and my perfect plan that was promised to me started I'm like, it's not actually working out.
Yeah.
They said it was going to work out. Then I'm like, started learning, it isn't for anyone. And of course, lots of Black Americans, for example, but like many different impacted groups are like, yeah, welcome to the party,
guess
chief,
what?
or whatever. Yeah. Or I'm like, you were just living in a very comfortable lie for a long time. Yeah.
Just because I took things for granted does not mean that anything had been fixed, and I just had my own blinders on. And I am grateful to have learned a lot of lessons in the redacted amount of years since college.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But boy, this is bad right now. We're going to talk about bad stuff, but I will say something slightly more hopeful, which is it is bad right now, but deep down in my heart, I think maybe on the other side of this, it'll get better. Like maybe it needed to get to a really bad point in order for us to all collectively wake up and move towards a better future.
I think it might still. No, I'm cautiously optimistic that there's still more rational cooperator people than there are self-destructive, deluded, hate and fear-driven people overall on Earth. But I do think you're right that it's a make or break. Like last time Trump did this and all the Nazis got really riled up, my comforting narrative was, well, maybe it's like how as something is dying, it has to make its last gasp for survival. But now emboldened by like the fact that they're aligned with the billionaire class.
Yeah.
Like that Elon Musk,
Yeah.
the richest man
Doesn't
in the
bode
world,
well.
is also a meme lord troll Nazi, and that those verticals have aligned is fucking, I mean, any student of history is like, well, that's exactly what you don't want, is the rich people have tricked the poor people into thinking their problems are each other instead of rich people. And that's dang.
And then you also have a lot of people in a lot of Democratic leadership saying like, well, I thought that our titans of industry would protect us from this.
Oh,
like,
the rapidity is also
Oh,
the
you silly.
shockingness is- yeah.
Speaking of sweet summer children, really? Did you think that?
Whether it's good or bad, I will say I'm grateful. Like, if it's true, it's better that I know. I used to be like, I don't know about, obviously I do believe, or I don't know, obviously, but I do believe in freedom fighting, and I believe in extra legal necessity, and that the system, the powers that be cheat, and that requires like a complex moral like engagement with that. But at the same time, I was definitely more on the fence of like, maybe we could vote though, or maybe Mr. Smith could go to Washington and give a speech enough that they'd go, no, sir, here we draw the line. But part of the shocking rapidity is like, no, dude, no one has any spine at all. Every elected official is like, yes, sir, yes, please, whatever you want, sir. It's insane.
And there's no time. You can't keep up.
Yeah.
Because it's
No time to give a
so
speech.
fast. But
Yeah.
I'll bring it back to the pot. Because, yes, I agree with everything you're saying. All of this and the merging of the billionaire class with the government is terrifying. And maybe the people can realize that the common enemy is not each other, but the powers that be and our corporate overlords and money in politics. And maybe I'm just being super hopeful on a Sunday.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
Some
what Trump is
people
for,
are
right?
aware.
He's going to take on the.
And you guys do a good
know-
job. Just keep making people aware of this. Yeah.
If you know me, you know I am always on the run. Work commitments, social commitments, bake sales, escaping a T-800 from the future who thinks I'm crucial to stopping the next cyborg war. It never ends. Well, fortunately, I found a solution for activewear that feels great and doesn't break the bank. Fabletics! When I signed up as a new VIP, I got 80% off everything. And after that, the membership is about $60 a month unless I skip. I have been getting top-notch quality workout gear that other brands were charging me $200 a piece for. Seriously, folks. I work out almost every day and I basically live in leggings. And as you know, I recently moved to the mountains and there's no malls nearby to buy stuff. So instead of spending a fortune on athletic clothes online, Fabletics helps me feel comfortable and cute with entire outfits that I genuinely love. Like this thing, look, it's got little thumb holes, and they sent me this jacket, which I love, and there's like matching brown leggings, and also this little guy, it's a cute sweater. Honestly, full outfits, it's amazing. So if you are super active, struggle with how expensive workout clothes are, and have a robotic endoskeleton covered by living tissue chasing you relentlessly, then this service could be for you. So treat yourself to gear that looks good, feels good, and doesn't break the bank with Fabletics. Go to fabletics.com/SMN and sign up as a VIP and get 80% off everything. That's fabletics.com/SMN to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off everything. And I just want to quickly highlight that this is a monthly subscription service. That's how they can give you the good deals, but you can pause or cancel at any time. Awesome. This is top quality activewear, so you can comfortably sneak into Cyberdyne Systems headquarters and look good while you do it. fabletics.com/SMN. Thumb holes!
Whether you get your news from the internet, the TV, the radio, or from TV on the radio, it can be really overwhelming these days. You'll just be listening to the news on your commute and suddenly the United States military will be blowing stuff up right above the freeway. It's bedlam, I tells ya. And that's why I recommend Ground News, a website and app we specifically wanted to sponsor us, which you can access via the QR code on the screen. They gather news from hundreds of sources and compare coverage. I've been working with Ground News for a long time, and that is for a reason. I think they're one of the most powerful solutions for getting to the truth of a story, given all the spin you will see online. For example, Once you're safely where you're going and not on the exploding freeway anymore, you can see how the Marines were doing a weird display for some reason over the Interstate 5 freeway and how shrapnel fell from the sky and would have hit civilian cars had the governor not closed the freeway as a precaution. On Ground News, I can see how multiple different outlets covered that story and what they chose to focus on. It really clarifies the news for me and makes it easier to move on after my commute resembles the Roland Emmerich film 2012. So head over to ground.news/SMN for 40% off unlimited access. You'll get a factuality analysis of each source and their blind spot feature to see which stories are being ignored by a certain segment of the media. That's ground.news/SMN for 40% off. Don't do it while driving. That's a terrible idea, unless shrapnel is already raining down on you. So the link is in the description. The TV is on the radio. The me is a wolf like me. Whatever.
If you've ever been in the market for a new home, you know home shopping can be a lot. There's so much you don't know and so much you need to know. What are the neighborhoods like? What are the schools like? Who is the agent and who knows the listing or neighborhood best? And why can't all this information just be in one place? Well, now it is on Homes.com. They've got everything you need to know about the listing itself. But even better, they've got comprehensive neighborhood guides and detailed reports about local schools, and their agent directory helps you see the agent's current listings and sales history. Homes.com collaboration tools make it easier than ever to share all this information with your family. It's a whole cul-de-sac of home shopping information, all at your fingertips. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
6'7". You know how the kids are saying 6'7" for some reason? Well, I'm one of the kids, you see. I am youthful and translate well to the 15 to 24 demographic. Yes, indeed. And to that end, 6'7". I wanted to get myself some hip new clothes that accurately reflect my youthfulness. To that end, I got myself some jeans from the Perfect Jeans. And let me tell you, they aren't lying. No cap, I mean. No cap. These babies are soft, stretchy, and fit perfectly. They make me look 6 years younger and feel 7 years better. That's right, I feel 22 again because I am only slightly older than that. I have Ritz, you see. It's Riz. I've Riz. The point is, look, there's no more chafing or flat butt with the Perfect Jean. When you wear these things, people will be saying, "Gat." To you again. Yat. What? Look, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our audience gets 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code MORENEWS15 at checkout. 15%! That's 6 plus 7 plus 2. 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code MORENEWS15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Fuck your khakis. Fuck them. And get the Perfect Jean. It's giving advertisement.
Well, I was thinking about this today and how, increasingly it feels like we're not going to be able to just vote our way out of this. But given the attacks from the Trump administration and Republicans on voting, they kind of think we can because they are doing everything they can to make it harder to vote. And we can go through some of these things right now. There was this, I think, a leaked memo that came out a while ago that said that the National Guard, quote, will be trained in crowd control and civil unrest deployed in all 50 states by April of 2026. And then Pete Hegseth did not deny its existence when asked about it last week. So they're planning to have National Guard all over the place by the midterms. And they are announcing for the elections happening in a week they're dispatching election monitors, Department of Justice branded election monitors to California and New Jersey because of spooky irregularities they made up.
Yeah, they're making a big worrying soup for people to feel before and during and after, and they've done it for a long time. It's what he did from the start of saying like, well, they're gonna steal this and steal this, and then when we say it because he's doing it, then we sound like we're being alarmist or hypocritical because we're like, but you can't. He made it up, and then he did it, and now we're saying he's doing the thing, and now you have just that sort of that relationship of like, okay, but he's saying he's doing all this stuff just because. Am I making sense?
Yeah, it's the only tactic. There's only two. They've been through since the dawn of the country. One is, no, it's not the Lord of the Land's fault. It's that guy, or it's that stranger over there. And then the other one is the one I feel like Cody's elucidating, which is, similarly just anything you do will endanger yourself before it can endanger the system. So just like keep your head down. You know what I mean? Stay focused on your business.
Yeah, and now, so now we're like, oh, they're like trying to rig the election. It's like, well, I thought that saying rigging the election was actually irresponsible of you to say. It's like, well, it was when he was lying.
Well, and it's the and who's mad now trick. It's like anything, or it's like someone chasing you around all day, flicking you back in the head. And then if you turn around and push them back, they're like, oh, you've started a fight.
Now you're
lawsuits
touching
are involved.
me.
Now you got an assault charge on your hands, mister. It's just like provocateurism, I guess.
Yeah, and it's purposely chilling. It's to intimidate. It's to putting people on edge. And if things go south in a way that they don't like, then they have people there already in place
that they have to lie about. Like even like these like poll watchers they're sending. Like, okay, that sounds like maybe they shouldn't be doing that. Sounds a very chilling thing for Trump to do. And like, well, it happens all the time. Yeah, but not like he's doing it. So what are you trying to like get away with here? Yeah, they're sending election monitors to certain places, and it's not done in the normal way that they normally do this. They're usually it's usually like a very specific, like we're targeting areas that are historically discriminatory or have like election issues that we can actually display evidence of, and they don't like displaying evidence. So
normally state appointed.
Normally state appointed, not the Department of Justice, or in this case, I assume a text from the president or a Truth Social post that was DM'd or whatever to direct this to happen.
I mean, it's voter intimidation, right? It's old kind of Southern Jim Crow style tactics. And they kind of already know that they've lost all those gains they made with the Latino community because their numbers are in the toilet with the Latino community. And so they say, okay, let's just intimidate them and hope they don't come out.
Then if we lose the vote anyway, our backup position is to say it's not true. Like there's all these crumple zones of delusion, I feel like, where, so we're in the middle of the range of options they have. Okay, well, if they won't vote for us, then don't let them vote. If everyone still hates us, like we'll pretend they don't exist, then we'll murder them. That's like the levels of escalation we get.
Some of the places being targeted by this are, a lot in California: Fresno, Kern County, Los Angeles, Orange, and Riverside counties to ensure transparency, ballot security, and compliance with federal law. Some of those are fairly conservative.
I think I should read this Trump post from today where he kind of like sets up, here's all the things that I'm going to be talking about now for the next year. This says, what's worse, the NBA players cheating at cards and probably much else, or the Democrats cheating on elections? The 2020 presidential election being rigged and stolen is a far bigger scandal. Look what happened to our country when a crooked moron became our, quote, president. We now know everything. I hope the DOJ pursues this with as much, quote, gusto as befitting the biggest scandal in American history. If not, it will happen again, including the upcoming midterms. No mail-in or, quote, early voting. Yes to voter ID. Watch how totally dishonest the California prop vote is. Millions of ballots being, quote, shipped. Get smart, Republicans, before it is too late.
Hate that. Also, wait, before we talk about this, is he trying to downplay this cheaty scandal though up top? He's like, this is about, like, I'm sorry, what? This whole
Yeah, the
thing that
NBA
was
cheating
with
scandal's also kind of
the
underplaying
mafia?
it, which is funny.
Yeah.
Like,
I
oh,
do
wait,
thi- like,
wait a minute.
I think
That's
he's-
not
yeah,
the point of this, but
He is trying to make a connection. He wants to take a shot at them, but I guess he's right. If there was a stolen presidential election, that would be a
Sure.
bigger scandal.
That's
than,
worse. Yeah, he's
a
right.
camera
that's
looking
still
at poker
not
cards.
good. Let's not. I feel like he's
And there
laying
certainly
the
has
groundwork
been,
for
whichever
whatever
narrative
pardons
you
he's gonna
believe.
give.
Also, and probably much else is an odd phrase. I don't know if he intended to say and not much else. Like, it's like, and they probably didn't cheat at much else, or like, and much else.
Yeah, it's obvious that he's laying the groundwork for, and he always does this, spews a bunch of stuff, potential, floats whatever excuse he's going to give when
He's a
things
floater.
don't go
If
his
we
way.
lose, it will be because it was false.
Yeah.
And then if he wins, he goes, no, it was good this time. It's just, it's endlessly, frustratingly transparent.
We won in spite of them cheating.
Yeah, there's there's so many angles they're doing too about this election and the next year. Newsom is out recently talking about how ICE agents might be at polls and during election day, which honestly, that's probably true. I assume that they are planning to do it, but at the same time, maybe he's giving them the idea to do that by saying it, and just by mentioning it, it does have a potentially chilling effect where he's like talking about like, yeah, they're gonna have ICE agents there. Well, people might hear that and go, well, are they gonna they're picking up like random citizens in some cases? Should I even bother voting? Hopefully, people aren't necessarily getting that message now. We will see. Also, Trump's appointed a lot of like election deniers in his whole administration. There's a recent article in the New York Times about how a lot of them are like these 2020 election deniers are overseeing elections now, and they're talking about declaring like a national emergency and like how they can effectively dictate how states run their elections next year.
I will say, and I don't want to be like, because I'm rarely optimistic.
Do it.
But states run their own elections.
Sure.
He liked the idea when Zelensky was there. Like, oh, when you're at war, you can cancel elections. Great. He can't. Like, he can say whatever he wants, but like, states will hold their votes. And I'm not saying he won't say they're fraudulent, throw them out, that we can't sit this house, whatever. But like, he can't stop it from happening. In California, everyone gets a mail-in ballot. Please do that. Because it's scary to like have to walk by like masked guys holding guns outside of a polling place. Maybe people should all just wear their passports around their neck, like in a lanyard or something.
Papers.
Not a bad
Get your
idea.
papers ready.
Get your papers ready. But no, you're right, Jonathan. I tend to lean towards that. It's terrible, everything that's happening. This shouldn't be a conversation we're even happening. But yes, we have mail-in ballots. I do worry about the spin of mail-in ballots because they hate it. And if you win by majority mail-in ballots, then what are they going to say about that?
And they're going to say the same thing if everyone shows up in person.
Exactly.
Should we talk about the Voting Rights Act?
Oh, boy.
So a few weeks back, the Supreme Court heard the case about getting rid of the part of the Voting Rights Act they hadn't gotten rid of already. And it seems, based on the arguments they heard, that they want to do it. So as a bit of a reminder, this goes back to a case from Louisiana. The state legislature was ordered to redraw its map because Louisiana is very politically polarized by race. Black people tend to vote for Democrats. White people tend to vote for Republicans. A third of the state is black. So they said, great, 2 of these 6 districts need to be majority black. You have to redraw your map to not have only one. And the lawsuit that is before the Supreme Court is saying, no, that itself is racist because Louisiana is just doing it to score points in politics, which you already said in 2019 in Rucho v. Common Cause was okay. So now the fact that they are having to draw majority-minority districts at all is itself racist and against the 14th and 15th Amendments. And it seems like the 6 are fine with that. And the question really is, are they going to wait until they would normally release that ruling in June, or will they rush it out for some reason in January so that all of these maps can be redrawn by November? So sorry about that optimism a few minutes ago. I'm back. I'm back on the sad train.
I mean, it does underscore why Prop 50 is important and what other states are trying to do. I guess Virginia is going to try to make some moves after
We're trying to balance it out, and there was this graphic that's kind of helpful in the New York Times, and it's like, here's how much Democrats would have to win by nationally if the following things fall. So if these states redistrict, but these ones don't. At worst, it feels like California's probably going to do it, but it looks like at worst, Democrats would have to win by up to 6 points in order to be fairly confident that they will have a majority in the House. You know, they won by 9 back in 2018. Right?
It's definitely a possibility that we can pull that off. But
to your point earlier, just they know that they're unpopular, especially during the midterms. Like, it's happened before, and all this happened before, all this happened again, and they know that it is imperative that they do as much chicanery as they can to maintain their stranglehold, and people are unhappy, and so it is not outside the realm of possibility that it'll be fine.
People are very unhappy. And I'll just say, not just people that you think that agree with us already, not just the people that voted against him. You know,
a lot of buyer's remorse out there.
There is, and there's going to be more of it.
Oh, and I think they knew that, or I think obviously all of us are mired in delusion, and Trump and his acolytes more than most. But I do think there is an aspect of enough clear-eyedness about themselves that it's like, I do think deep in their hearts, I don't know whether they say it to each other behind closed doors or not, but they live with this unspoken truth of, you can only rob and oppress that. Like, eventually this shit we're doing. Like, I mean, just because we haven't even touched on as much, another whole aspect is just, you can think of it as evil or racist. You can also just view it all as kleptocracy. Like, you can see every move Trump makes as just enriching his friends, literally just here to make money. So, like, even through that lens, I think they know and have always known, look, we won't stay popular forever. And even we know that. I know I'm robbing these morons. And when the Hicks catch on, here's what we do. We have this army in place. We do this, we do this, we do this. Like, I think they plan to lose. Or, like, they plan to not be the majority.
They don't care that they're
prepared. They're prepared to
They're
lose,
not winning hearts and minds. Is not the path
No.
they've chosen.
Yeah. And they're not trying. They're not trying to. Yeah.
Right. But they are trying to stay in power. And that's a dangerous combination. When you're like, oh, so you want to be hated, but hold on to power. Uh-oh. That's usually not good.
Mr. President, you said you were building this ballroom, but it looks like an underground bunker. Why is this an underground
why
ballroom?
Does the ballroom need to panic room down into the earth a mile and a half?
Does it really need
detection?
3 titanium sheets holding it in?
What's
That's
this
really
sign
strange.
that says so long suckers doing here?
I'll bring it back to where my own naive hopefulness at the top, which is, they're just doing this. And they're saying, fuck you, one by one to the different demographics that got them elected. And people are pissed. And I do think this is going to snowball. More and more people will start to believe it. And, the farmers, the ranchers, construction industries, hotel industries, tourism is down. This is going to be felt and is being felt. And I hope that this is a moment that can break the spell that this man has over this party, and I'm not saying that means elections are going to go well or that they give a fuck, but
Or be
I have
upheld,
hope that
or-
maybe
yeah.
more people wake up.
I think you're right in the long term that the evil can never. There's a reason good is good, or like that at least can give us hope, right? Like I firmly believe and truly believe cooperation is better than like ruling through love is more effective than ruling through fear in the long term. Diversity is stronger than homogeneity. So like, of course it won't. I agree that it will fall apart. It's just like watching in horror as like, I wonder how much damage they'll
how much
do.
damage.
Yeah, what happens to
before,
them and
yeah.
how much we can recover from the
I wonder
damage.
if it will be like,
And, like-
the Dark Ages again for a while before we are able to, yeah.
And in the meantime, the very real effects that this has on people's everyday lives.
Oof. And it's sad as I get older to watch the younger generation. Like interacting with enough Gen Z people. I've had multiple heart-to-hearts with Gen Z at this point in my life where you're like, what is it about that thing where you don't give a shit about jobs or retail? And they honestly go like, why would I? Like, I'm just on a cliff. Like, it's all over for us. I'm like, man, that's so sad. Or even there was a profound sadness when my dad came to me and said, as kids, he would always say, one cool thing about humanity is I truly think over the long term, we always go up and up and up and better and better and better. And we had like 55 or whatever. He came to me one day and was like, I don't think that anymore. And I'm really sorry. And I'm like, man, and now I'm getting that age
Getting
to the younger
everybody-
generation. I'm like, yeah, it's hard to admit. Yeah, it's worse than I thought it was. Or I thought, like you said, history had wrapped up, but no, we're still doing history.
Yeah, we're still doing history, and
Yeah.
it'll it'll be it's the
We're not in the
we're working towards
post-turmoil
the cleanup,
Period.
right?
Right.
We're just like survive until the cleanup.
But hopefully it's growing pains. And that's crazy to say about people suffering. But I mean, in the rearview mirror of 1,000 years, hopefully it is growing pains. Yeah.
Yeah, and like what you said earlier, it's like it is one of those last grasps of like, but like, what if we had it all? And they're trying to hold on to it, and
Or it almost
while
seems like we
crumbles and-
might be ready to get rid of money in the next couple hundred years. And they're like, but money is everything. My whole lineage is built around the money symbol. It feels like money is kind
How
of
will
making
I
the last
have my
stand.
value
Right.
if I don't have that value? Exactly.
And statistically, one of us will be a head on a robot body to see that, like in 1,000 years.
At least
like,
an
"Oh, I wish
iPad on
the-"
a Segway. Yeah.
One other thing before we move on that the Supreme Court is looking at lately. On November 7th, they're going to have a private conference to decide whether or not they want to hear arguments that could essentially overturn Obergefell, which legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. You know, there's a huge segment on the right that wants to do this, that wants to make this push. Clearly, some people on the court think there might be enough supporter that they can convince a holdout or two. There need to be 4 of the 9 of them who agree to bring the case. And so you'd think they wouldn't do that unless they think they can get to 5 out of 9. So, you know, they'll have a little chin wag about that in a week.
yeah,
There's not much to this case. It's Kim Davis again, this horrible person,
God,
just
yeah.
desperate to be back in the news and mess up people's lives. But I don't even want to go into the case. There's like nothing there. It's so
yeah,
stupid.
we don't. Yeah, it's more just sort of like if they are like, well, cultural victory, let's do it. I wonder.
We're like, well, we have the ball. Let's do all the horrible
here,
shit we love
exactly.
to do.
Right.
I do wonder. This is the one of the few sort of cases where I'm like, I wonder how Trump would talk about it and address it, because like
What's
most
the
everything else,
non-religious argument?
well, like most everything
or-
else is like either like I'm trying to be a king, I need to,
Or a
I need to
businessman.
be president forever,
I'm
or
going
a
to make the
business
economy
thing,
thrive. Yeah.
or like, oh, this decision helps me either like stay in power or make money. Roe v. Wade was different, but I think he gotten to the point where like it didn't necessarily personally affect him, and he knew like, oh, this is going to help me like maintain power and like give me sort of clout, I guess.
It was strategic. What
right.
his maneuvering on that.
But like this issue is one of the few things where it's like Trump's like playing along. He like, you know, he's a New York like real estate guy in like the entertainment industry, and he's got a lot of gay friends. And I'm sure if you were to ask him before he was president, like, yeah, of course, like get married, I don't care. Like they're like, yeah, we're all people. Even now in his brain, like deep down, he's probably like
some big
has the
gay
same
celebrities he
thing.
knows. Like,
Right.
I was just hanging out with
I just
Elton.
wonder if this
Less
like,
I was gonna
competition
say
for me.
Elton.
but like now, and like, does he think that this is an issue that can benefit him in some way,
Or will
or
make
is he
the
going to
MAGA
view it
base
as
go
like,
crazy,
wait, why are we
or-
doing that? I thought like
Yeah.
that was fine.
Probably try to stay out of it.
I
don't know.
That's sort of where I land. I was like, oh, he'll just not mention it, and let JD Vance go out there and say what he really believes.
Oh boy. I'm super biased because my dad was gay growing up. So it's normalized, hyper normalized for me, or like always seemed this way. But there's a new dimension the more further into the future we get. Homophobia is the one that, I guess because I'm not religious, but it seems so arbitrary. You're like, it's really important to me that gay, especially, I know gay, expansive, of course, any same-sex marriage, but I'm just thinking of like, for example, my dad. Those two guys over there, alone in their house, who can't reproduce. I don't want them to get naked and touch each other's bodies. How does that affect you?
Why are you thinking
Like,
about it?
what?
Why are you thinking about that?
Like, why does it even cross your mind? Who cares? Who cares?
It's one of the biggest contradictions. I mean, there's so many. They had the
They're lousy
hypocrisy,
with
but
contradictions.
Yeah.
but the part, screaming about personal freedoms and government out of my life, out of my home, blah blah blah, and yet I care so much about what's happening in my neighbor's bedroom.
Oh, like yeah. I mean, it's old hat now, but as everyone is saying, I agree. It's like part of the shocking surrealness is also been like, yesterday you were like, I thought your whole thing was don't tread on me with a shotgun on your porch. Now you're pro the masked goons
Tread
in the
on
streets,
them.
Right,
bullying
right.
people?
Me is
Like
fine.
the
Yeah, that-
total
yeah.
lack of any consistency where they're like, look, deep down, we just hated you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really all it was,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
You're like,
The
oh.
flag makes it very clear. Don't tread
happened
on
really
me
fast.
specifically.
and it's
You,
been
I don't give a fuck about.
it's been
Yeah.
around for so long now that they can't even go back. Like I'm having flashbacks to the Fox News bits of like 20 years ago, and O'Reilly can't even do his like slippery slope nonsense
Or they're
anymore
like,
because
we're
it
the
wasn't.
free speech
It
party.
didn't.
It's like, yeah,
frogs
fuck
aren't
it, man.
marrying people or whatever
Right,
you
right.
said on Fox News in 2005. Like it's ridiculous.
Blasted nutrients! We need them to live, and at the moment, eating is the only way to get them. Where's my Soylent Green already? I won't look up what that is, but I've got the next best thing, which is Hungry Root. Hungry Root takes the stress out of mealtime by filling your cart with personalized picks and planning your entire week of meals. They've got over 15,000 recipes to choose from each week, 0 in pill form. But delicious, nutritious, and many ready to eat in 15 minutes or less. That's like a nutrient pill future, kind of, right? And their best price program ensures you get great value on over 100 popular products. Plus, with our special offer, you'll get a free item, like a premium protein, veggie, or sweet treat in every box for life of your Hungry Root subscription, of course. Even if Soylent Green does exist at some point, you can still get your free veggie. I assume Soylent Green is veggies. It'll be a novelty, and you can charge money for people to come into a little tent and look at your rutabaga. Come on, folks! I got a rutabaga! So take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life of the subscription. Go to hungryroot.com/SMN and use code SMN. That's hungryroot.com/SMN, code SMN, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life of the subscription. hungryroot.com/SMN, code SMN. I forgot how it goes. Code SM? I forget how it goes.
When I first started my ambient music podcast, Stolected Ambient Works Volume 2, it felt like I had to do everything. Logos, recording schedules, props, Setting up the Moog synthesizer. It was overwhelming. And finding the right tool that simplifies everything can be a game changer. For millions of businesses, that tool is Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. They have ready-to-use templates to create a beautiful and professional online store that makes my listeners believe that Brian Eno himself is behind the keyboard. You can easily create email and social media campaigns wherever your customers are scrolling. And they have world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns. Running a business is now as relaxing as a double album from Stars of the Lid. So turn your big business idea into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/more news. Go to shopify.com/more news. Nifty sound. Maybe I can sample that. Ooh, cool.
Ah! This is it, folks! Halloween week! If you're not watching scary movies on Pluto TV for free, what even are you doing? Taking your kids trick-or-treating? Stop trying to guilt trip me! I'm getting down with fan-favorite horror movies on Pluto TV, like Paranormal Activity, The Ring, The Haunting of Beach House, Scream, World War ZZ Top, Bloody Ice Cream Sunday, The Call is Coming from Inside the Spouse, From Dusk Till Dawn, Garfield and Odie Get Rabies, Death by Killing, Chekhov's Nail Gun, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Killing by Death, Good Burger with E. coli, The Imaginarium of Dr. Giggles, and 28 Days Later. You've got a few more days, tops, to watch scary movies before it's a whole month of Thanksgiving movies. So, you know, planes, trains, and automobiles. Home for the holidays, I think? Charlie Brown's probably got one. And that's it. Pluto TV! Stream now! Pay never!
This ad is brought to you by Vive Healthcare, the makers of Apretude, cabotegravir. You never skip your SPF, and you carry hand sanitizer like an accessory. But what are you doing for HIV prevention? One way to help protect yourself from HIV is Apretude, a prescription medicine used to reduce the risk of getting HIV in adults and adolescents weighing at least 77 pounds. You must be HIV negative to receive Apretude and get tested before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your doctor right away. More HIV testing may be needed. Apretude does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex to reduce your risk. Get Apretude as scheduled. Missing doses increases your HIV risk. Don't take Apretude if allergic to it or taking certain medicines that may interact. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions, liver problems, and mental health. Serious side effects include allergic reactions or rash, liver problems, and depression. If these occur, get medical help right away. The most common side effect is injection site reaction. Bring your A game and talk to your doctor. Learn more at apretude.com or call 1-888-240-0340.
Yeah, or like the abandon with which we've reached propagandistic language. I don't know. Is it bearing a lead you wanted to build to if I mention the Snap website thing?
Not at all.
Just because I was literally agog, or it's I don't know what it would mean to be literally agog because I don't know what that means, but what I
Mouth
meant is
agape?
my mouth was literally agape is what I meant to say. And yet every time, I love how we constantly say these days, like, well, nothing they could do could surprise me because I just know there is no bottom. Then you see a thing every day that you go, man, win for me today. It was this thing in the duck. We're on the Snap website. Of course, I already think it's unconscionable that they're doing this, that they're twisting it, blaming it on their blah, blah, blah. But literally on the website, it says, like, sorry, you won't be getting Snap benefits because Senate Democrats want healthcare for illegal immigrants and gender mutilation for your children. My
on
It is
Like the language is next
unbelievable.
level. That's on the Snap website where you're just like trying to figure out why your Snap shit is not going through today. And it's like, oh, genital mutilation. I didn't know they were doing that. That's interesting.
I had that moment on Friday night when someone sent me a link to that White House
timeline?
East Wing
Oh,
expansion
The
stages.
architecture model?
And
No.
That's just like a big turd on a
They do like a
dumbbell?
timeline of the East Wing.
Hold up,
or like
let's
the
get,
White House.
Let's
Yeah,
get
let's
this
get it.
reaction from you in real time. I'm not going to read all this. So this is the here's the White House. Hey, the East Wing expansion. That's the ballroom and stuff. And so they go through major events. Here's the design, rebuilding after War of 1812, addition of the Oval Office, addition of the Rose Garden, and then Bill Clinton scandal, Muslim Brotherhood visit. I mean, this is wild.
It
Like
gets worse.
you're
It
going
gets
through
worse.
a normal thing. It gets worse. You're going through this normal thing, and then they're like, by the way, you guys, and this is like not a bad argument. They're like, hey, you guys are so.
I thought he was just trying to justify, look, people have been changing it over time. I'm not the first to change it. But he's
Yeah.
like, hey, while we're here, let's shit on.
Wait, watch.
like,
look,
yeah,
there's more. Look,
you guys are
look,
clutching your pearls about this ballroom thing. Look what happened in the Oval Office. Okay, and then tennis pavilion. That's fine.
Tennis pavilion. More.
Cocaine discovered,
There it is, Michael.
and then Biden. Biden
This is
hosted
the
trans
White
people.
House.
This is on WhiteHouse.gov.
They're like, let's just, it's like, I mean, one of my comfort shows is The Office. They do this joke a lot, but it's like, let's just put Biden and something that will make our user base uncomfortable. Biden, uncomfortable. Like Biden. Titties,
So
Biden,
to
titties,
people
Biden.
listening, not
Are
watching.
you uncomfortable
Uh,
yet? You squares.
At the whitehouse.gov, you go to the bottom, major timelines, you see the renovations, and then. But right now we've got the next headline is cocaine discovered, and there's a picture of Hunter Biden in a bathtub with a cigarette in his mouth on the White House website. The next one is Trans Day of Visibility. It's got Joe Biden next to a woman with her top off.
Presumably implied to be a trans woman who's topless in front of the White House. Moana's saying in chat that it's doctored, which I believe, and that's also like
Sure.
insane that this is on .gov.
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta say, it's just a gorgeous trans person. So
Oh,
it's also
so
like
She did do that at
I
the
mean, it
event.
makes-
I
neither here
believe.
nor there,
But like,
It makes
the
Biden
whole-
look very cool.
makes Biden look cooler than he is.
He's got his sunglasses on. He's like, hey, man.
I see. Just to clarify, Moana's saying doctored in the sense that, yeah, as you can see, it's a split screen. Like Biden is not standing next to that
Yeah,
person.
he took a selfie with a woman at the event, and then separately, that woman took a topless photo where
I
she
love
covers
the
up as well.
Because I knew that news story, but I never saw that picture, the guy chilling in the White House bathtub with the cocaine discovered.
But this is not a photo
Presumably
from
it's a White
the
House
White House.
bathtub.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Who
This
is
is just hey, remember Hunter Biden?
That's just the concept of
The whole thing's okay. So yeah,
You're
and
not
like,
a good guy. Amazing.
and the
So
Muslim
again,
Brothers.
it's just flashcards. It's just flashcards of buzzwords and things that will rile their people up.
Right, they should have
Yeah.
just brought the word woke and just like left it at that. Just like, and then it got woke, and you hate that.
It's the same as Marvel being like Iron Man. I don't know. It used to be unseemly to do racist dog whistle as your tactic. Like people used to not be like wink wink, you know what I mean? Like he's like, we don't like Muslims. You used to try to really hide that and make it the quiet part, and we're just don't
Also,
anymore.
let's not forget that timeline for a while was like building the White House and adding additions to the White House, and it was
Yeah.
about the construction
right that it's not
of the
even
White
on
House. It was
topic.
about
He
the
didn't-
building.
It's not
It
on
was just
topic
about
at
the
all.
building.
Yeah,
It's not about like the
Stuff that
Clinton
happened.
scandal. It's not scandals that
It's
happened
like-
in the White House.
And there's a ghost in the
They
East
didn't
Wing, too.
Throw
didn't
Nixon
include-
in there.
They didn't include Trump pointing at the sun while he's staring directly at it.
Or like, yeah.
Or
and
January
scandal.
6th.
Or
308 miles west.
Well, that
Now,
did- yeah,
Wing
that was-
Charlie
that was-
Kirk was tragically.
That was Congress. That was another place. You know, they could have.
But I feel like if there's ever a Democratic president again, they need to immediately just put January 6th up here, pretend it was at the White House. Who cares?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know
cares?
how we also ever go back to. Yeah, I mean, it's beyond saying. People feel free to say it if it makes you feel better. But when people do the thing of, so imagine back in the normal times when stuff was normal. Imagine Obama did this sequence of things, and I'm like, you can't even go down that road because it's not that time anymore. It's not normal time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Imagine it was normal, but it's not.
I
Yeah.
don't
But it's
I
not.
don't know how he pulled it off, but the consequences are different for this man than they were for that man.
Yeah,
That-
exactly.
It's just
It's like,
is how
yeah,
it
imagine
is.
if Joe Biden called Donald Trump a pedophile.
Yeah,
well,
he would have. Yeah,
I mean,
you're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
So, Michael, you brought up the words that are currently on USDA.gov that are just all about how
Mutilation being the real one that
Senate
really draws
Democrats
your
want to
eye.
mutilate you, and that's why
Yeah,
we're
that's why you
starving
can't
you
feed
all.
your kids.
That's
yeah.
why you don't get.
That's
to
why you
eat.
don't get your SNAP benefits, which we hate, by the way, which we don't want you to have anyway,
Yeah.
by the
Biden
way.
needs more trans arm candy for his next White
Exactly.
House photo.
So-
Got a great
as-
website for you to check out about it.
As of November 1st, about 40 million recipients of food aid benefits are going to have fewer of those benefits. There's between 5 and 6 billion currently in the fund, but that's not enough to cover the estimated $8 billion in SNAP benefits due out next month. So fewer benefits are going to go out. The administration is straight up blaming the Democrats and the shutdown on this, although they could dip into the contingency fund and are simply electing not to, cruelly. So this would be a great week or two to help out your local food bank, because it could get a little rough for people out there.
Just, my God, right before the holidays, you know, with this shutdown in general, sure, yes, the SNAP benefits, and the amount of people that rely on them to survive, and to be looking at price increases across the board. Health insurance is about to astronomically rise. And just how fucked up it is. But then, of course, there's all the government employees not getting paid as well throughout all of this, also facing down the holidays, also looking at rising costs. And it's just, what is this country? That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
But it's just depressing. I'm just putting it in that perspective.
I've seen people like the claim there's like 40 million people who are going to not have these benefits. And I've seen so many people like, 40 million people are on SNAP benefits. That's like 12% of the population. And then, okay, that's bad. Shouldn't we like try to like help them and like get fewer, get them help? But also the amount of money that's spent on them is like 0.0002% of the budget. So it's like, wow, it's like, you have to spend only a little bit of money to help so many people. Isn't that good? Like, I don't know. The whole thing's very frustrating.
Meanwhile, we'll
to
send a
see how
bunch
it's
of
framed.
money to Argentina, to Israel,
You know what?
but not
Double
other-
it.
It only makes sense through the lens of cruelty, because I thought the whole reason we were learning to make tools, and now I can grow 10 times as many crops as I could last season, is so that eventually, like, you know what I mean? And like, we can bail out the banks, we can pump money into AI, no matter how many times it trips over its own computer generated multi-fingered genitalia. But this tiny thing, they're like, we really need to cut back on that tiny little sliver of hope that the people have. And the only argument ever is like, you should have to work for money. But I'm like, but no one does, isn't it? Or no tech billionaire does. Isn't that the whole point of being a tech billionaire? Is you're not in the field hunting, cutting down trees. Like, anyway, it's just, to me, one of the endlessly infuriating arguments is that people like Elon Musk or anyone in that position is like, but I think ideas so hard that it's worth billions of dollars. I'm just like, I don't value human thought at that level.
Yeah. I don't want to even bring it back to politics, because it's just like in the face of such wanton cruelty. But like, they clearly thought Democrats were going to fold in this government shutdown, and they're not. And so they're like, well, what else can we do? I guess we could, like, they're not as cruel as we are, so surely they'll fold if we start starving people. So
And say they're doing it, they're
Yeah.
doing it, they're
So
doing it.
Let's let's withhold food from people, say it's them, and they'll surely fold because we can outlast them with cruelty, is their thinking.
Yeah, we're fine with it. We love
Yeah.
it, actually. It's
And
great
then
for
when-
us.
We hate
in,
when
in
they
both
do-
ways, yeah.
If and when they do fold, because they're like, fine, we just got to feed people. They'll be like, see, you were standing in the way. Now that you're cooperating, it's all blah, blah, blah.
We saved your SNAP benefits is what they want to be able to say. While
But
they're
I
also gonna
also,
try to take
it's
your-
also very clear that in their back pocket, they're like, and as people slowly wise up to the fact that this is all a lie, let's also get the troops quietly deployed.
they're covering their
Mhm.
bases on all
Yeah.
ends. Well, put the pieces in play, but
Be like, we
also
flipped
have the
Fetterman. Who
propaganda
else can we
spin.
flip? I want a born again progressive. I feel like we have had many disappointed people who go, I give up, I will be a fascist. But where's the guy who's could
You're waiting for
Stephen
Marjorie
Miller,
Taylor Greene
Yeah.
to come all the way around.
I'm waiting for
Yeah,
Stephen
yeah.
Miller to disappear into a jungle island for 6 months and come back and be like, I know I can never atone for what I've done, but my
I don't-
attempt to do so
I'll do my
begins."
best.
I
yeah.
licked
I
some
would
toad
love that.
venom, but
He's
man,
would
did
be
I
so
screw
satisfying,
up?
but the least likely one of the bunch, I'd say.
Oh, Miller.
But
That
No,
guy
yeah.
yeah,
is.
no, he's
I think of all humans as an innately beautiful, just animals trying to survive. But he's a pissant or a pipsqueak. Or I've never thought of someone as you're like a little squid.
Yeah, you're like a little
I
gremlin.
love
like,
you.
yeah,
he's
you're like a-
he's universally revolting
You're
in
just
every
that
way.
yellow bastard from Sin
Yeah.
City. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And I don't like to think that way about anybody, even people I dislike. But woof, Stephen Miller.
There are a few. There are a few of them.
One of the
Little
most repellent guys I've
squid.
ever become aware
One
of.
of them.
Yeah.
Earlier,
Unlike
he.
yourselves. Was that a good segue? This was fun.
Yeah, we don't need to. I don't even want to point out that he. Well, you know what? He's gonna try to arrest a governor by the end of the year, right?
Let's not.
Okay,
Oh
skip
yeah,
I'm
we
that.
didn't
all
bring
right,
it up that
okay,
he wants
okay.
to arrest the governor.
We've got a hard out.
He wants to arrest a governor, at least
Maybe
one.
later this week. As a
Yeah.
reminder, we've got more episodes
More
just like
news.
this.
Even more.
Even more of the news. Like and subscribe, etc. Michael,
Thank
tell
you so
our
much.
listeners and viewers where to
viewers.
find you. Plug
Yeah.
the pluggables.
Really appreciate the opportunity just to catch up with you guys, but also to plug my pluggables. Our thing is called Small Beans. Is how you would find the feed if you're just looking for all the free stuff, much like yourselves. We have a Patreon paywall where if you join, you'll get much, much more content, but you can sample anything just by searching Small Beans. We don't cover politics. We cover a variety of things, but by and large, film, video games. And recently, we've added television. And that's the thing I'm extra excited to plug, which is we're going to start covering series, which we never had before on our show Frame Rate. And one of the very first shows we will be watching is Battlestar Galactica with one Cody Johnston.
I love Battlestar Galactica.
He will be playing the guy who loves the show.
Yes.
And I will be playing guy who has not seen the show.
Part I was born to play.
Yeah. And it's extra
Excellent.
tricky because
I'm very
actually
excited
I
for
love
this.
the show and Cody's never seen it. So it's an improv exercise. We're like, no,
We're
that's
doing our
bullshit.
best.
It's a normal rewatch show. One of Cody's
very
favorites. And I'm a
excited.
huge sci-fi nerd who happens to have never seen it. So I think it's so far been thrilling.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good
Um,
show.
It's good. It's very good.
Katie?
It's quite good.
Just so you
Invite
know.
me on.
Well, I'm targeting you for Patriot. I hope you
Oh
hope
my
you get
goodness.
ready for that.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
I would be
All right, just so
honored.
you know.
The
Yeah.
part she was born
I'm
to
gonna
play.
do
The amount
all
of
my
time-
best friends.
Roll,
Yeah.
I was born for this. Yes. Love Patriot. I was also
So
I'm watching
underrated.
Gilmore Girls for the first time, and what
That
a
would
balm
be
for
a
my
DOB
soul.
That would be a rewatch you would do. Yeah, he loves Gilmore Girls.
Well, how many episodes
Yes.
of Battlestar Galactica are there?
A lot.
Were there 4 seasons?
There, I would say maybe 50-ish.
50. Yeah.
Oh,
There were,
okay, so it
uh,
won't take you that long to get through it.
No, it won't be years long. It's not like covering Star Trek, which we also do if you're a Star Trek fan. But that show's been going for 6 years.
We did it. We're at the
We
end
did
of
it.
our show. Check out those things. Check out Small Beans. Like and subscribe. Come back for more on Wednesday. And remember that we love you very much.